Welcome everybody to Stafford Speedway. It's day 2 of the weekend, which means it's the 52nd NAPA Spring Sizzler. The duels are out of the way, the starting lineups are set, so we're going to begin our pit preview with one of our duel winners, standing with Kyle.
And Bonza, that driver, will lead the field to the green flag here later this afternoon. And Teddy Hodgson, winner of duel race number 1. How's it feel to be the pole sitter for the 52nd running of the NAPA Spring Sizzler?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. We bought this Fury chassis from Ron Silk, actually, over the winter, and we went to Smyrna and ran 5 races there and didn't have the best of luck, and then we brought it up here for Thompson and New Hampshire, and now the Sizzler, and it's been just clicking away, just trying to fine-tune this thing, and I think we found it yesterday.
What does this weekend mean to you at this racetrack where you've had so much success over the races, or over the years of you coming up through the ranks?
Yeah, it means a lot. I've born and raised in Connecticut and always been around modified racing. My dad would take me to the races all the time when I was a kid, and doing the Wild Thing program and then Legend Cars here, and just having a lot of experience and memories and just good times here. It means a lot to have a good starting spot for tomorrow. It's going to be huge to be able to get track position, #1 pit stall. That's going to be really cool, and just take it lap by lap.
How much do you think the track will change? Yesterday, the duels, 40 lappers to end the day. Today, there's going to be a lot of cars on the racetrack. SKs are here, SK Lights. You'll be in the SK field. How much do you think the track will change before you get to the 100 lapper later on today?
Well, it changed a lot yesterday. Between the heat race and the dual race, the track picked up so much rubber. I mean, the wheel was shaking out of my hands with the amount of rubber that was coming off on the tires yesterday. So I think with the SKs and stuff, and they'll have a different compound on the track, it's going to change more. So, and even during the race, it's 100 laps, a lot of cars on the racetrack, so it'll probably change from before and after the pit stop. So, just got to keep on top of that, and hopefully we could be in a good spot for that.
Best of luck to you here later today.
Yep, thank you.
It's Teddy Hodgson pulling double duty here today in the SK Modified, and also the pole sitter for the greatest race in the history of spring. Let's head over to the other side of the pit area now with Bonza and another one of our top contenders today.
And that is the winner of duel number 2, Kyle, Ron Silk, who's won the duel every year since this format got started in 2022. What was the track like during that 40 lapper? How did the car evolve during the whole run? It was a caution-free race.
Yeah, it was definitely a good test for today. I think 40 laps is close to half the distance, so my car really drove well the whole time. Tried to pace it a little bit in the beginning, but it was very similar to how it was in practice, and kind of, Sizzler weekend every year is really similar. The track has tons of grip, so I didn't feel anything weird, and hopefully, we can have it as good for the race today as we did yesterday, and maybe make it a little bit better.
How much do you have to plan ahead where it's supposed to be 75 and sunny compared to now when it's 55 and cloudy?
It's just the track has so much grip this weekend. I don't think it makes a huge difference either way. It certainly will slightly, but we've been here enough times. We know what we should do.
Good luck today.
Thank you.
That's Ron Silk looking for back-to-back Spring Sizzlers. Nobody has done it since Ryan Priest in 2017 and 18. We'll see if that 16 can get it done today. We're going to keep going in the open modified pits where Kyle's standing by with another contender.
And Bonza, Justin Bonsignor returns to the Stafford Motor Speedway for the first time since winning the fall final here 3 years ago. And you start mid-pack here today in the 52nd running of the NAPA Spring Sizzler. How was the car yesterday? What'd you learn during that 40-lap caution-free event here?
Yeah, we learned a bunch. It was we started off really snug there under throttle up off of both ends, and just gave up a lot of track position. We were running pretty good times towards the end of the race. So each time we get on the racetrack, Tommy and I are getting more and more feedback with each other, and we're kind of building that notebook of what I'm looking for and how big of adjustments. So I think we got a good long run car. Hopefully the cautions play out in our favor. Maybe around halfway we get some tires, and it might better us to get towards the front of the field. But I think we got a good car. It's just gonna be a long, hard process to get to the front. A lot of good cars here, and it's going to be a tough one.
How big would it be to get Tommy to victory lane? Obviously, he's the Grand Marshal today. You're driving for him, and add a Spring Sizzler win to your resume.
Yeah, obviously, I've never won a Sizzler. I don't think the Baldwin family's ever won the Spring Sizzler either. So it would be pretty awesome, especially him being the Grand Marshal today. It would be picture perfect. So it's going to be a tough one, but we'll go down swinging if we can. Feel good to be back here at Stafford? Yeah, it's been a long time, and it's awesome to be here. I've been here in a couple years, just even in general. So the upgrades they made to the facility are really cool, and they're doing a great job here. Best of luck here later this afternoon. Thank you, guys. That's Justin Bonsignor. Has a long way to go from the 7th row, but has 100 laps to get to the front. Now back to Bonza with a driver pulling double duty in both the Spring Sizzler and the SK Modified this afternoon.
There are several drivers, Kyle, that are doing double duty today in the Open Modifieds and the SK Modifieds, and one of them is the Mad Pup. Although he's getting old enough, I guess you got to call him Mad Dog Jr. That's George Brissett Jr., who's getting ready to race in the Ted Anderson 1 and the 21 that was driven by Stephen Kopchik last year, correct?
That's correct, and I'm excited to have this opportunity to drive for him this year. And you know, he's stepping away from the SK Modified division, focused on open stuff with his new team, Wannick Motorsports, and I'm taking over his SK deal. So.
Now, open practice last week, I saw the times. The times looked really good, but you tell me, how was the car driving? What'd you like about the car?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. He's just, there's no magic. It's just these cars just turn so good, and I mean, it goes to show you. I got 2 open mods. I got this car. I got my car, and I drive this car now. And these cars just turn by themselves, and it's unbelievable speed, and it's crazy how much different it is compared to the light. I mean, my light's a dinosaur, but it turned good, but these things are just next level fast. So we're excited for this year, and we hope we have a good year, keep our nose clean, and have some fun.
Now let's switch to the Open Modifieds. The duel yesterday didn't exactly go your way. You hit the wall at one point. What happened, and what did you learn from that race as he shows the scuff there on the right rear? What happened out there yesterday?
I don't know. We were just struggling all day. I mean, in first practice, we were pretty tight. I did some adjustments, and you know, and it just went complete opposite. I had, you know, super loose, and then I went back to what I had, and it was still loose. You know, and you know, I mean, I threw the whole kitchen sink at it. You know, just doing what I think is right. You know, to make it tight, make it tight. I was trying to make it tight, and it would just go away after 4 or 5 laps. And I think I found something. Hopefully it fixes it, and we'll find out in the first practice here. Otherwise, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, the day's not over yet. Good luck to you.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
That's George Brissett Jr. looking to have a good start to the year with a good run in the SK Modified and here in the Open Modified for the Spring Sizzler. Speaking of SKs, we're going to stick to the SKs, where Kyle's standing by with another driver who had some adversity in open practice.
And Bonza, that driver is second-generation driver Dylan Kopech here at the Stafford Speedway, and not the best way to start the season for you last week. First off, what happened in open practice? Pretty big hit, according to some of the video that I've seen, and I know a long weekend getting this car back together.
Yeah, just a misfortune in the practice. You know, went to go avoid a spinning car, and just, you know, it was either hit him, you know, in a bad spot, or put it in the fence. So I went for a hole. It wasn't opening by the time I got there. Obviously didn't want to hit him, so did more damage to my car than his, but you know, it's all good as long as we're both okay.
How confident are you that it's back together, and what do you hope to learn about the repairs in these first couple practices coming up in a bit?
Well, I don't know much yet. We just got done with it, probably got it loaded about maybe 11 o'clock last night. So the guys, I was gone. Fortunately, I got probably the best guys in the whole pit crew, or the pit area. Put it all together this week, got it all together. Northeast Race Cars put a clip on it. We went all stripped down to the bare bones. So it's been eventful. I think first practice, I think we're just going to shake it down and see how it goes. I expect it to be fast. Usually we're pretty good, so we'll try.
Let's think big picture here, outlook for this season. It's going to be a long grind here that begins today.
Yeah. Hopefully we just get some good finishes. I want to keep the thing in one piece today, and you know, if we got a fast car, we'll go for the win.
And some off-track family news as well. The family continues to expand.
Yep, we got a boy coming, so October, planned it just right, just after Stafford ends, so it would be pretty exciting.
Good deal. Congratulations, and best of luck here later this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
That's Dylan Kopech, and one of our SK Modified competitors, drives that number 16. Look for him toward the front of the field after having to put the car back together after an incident last Saturday. Let's go to the other side of the pits now. Bonza, he's been able to catch up with one of our SK Light Championship favorites coming into the season.
After a bit of a tough season last year, Alex Pearl's looking for a big bounce back in 2024. Now, we talked in open practice. In the middle of practice, you felt good then, but by the end of practice, how did you feel about the car?
Yeah, we felt the car was pretty good. This week we went back and did some more homework to make it better. I think we're going to be really good today, and just looking forward to start the season off on a good note. It's super important to get in the handicap and not give up any points, and we're going to go for the win in the championship.
Now, how much was changed about this car during the winter that you can at least tell us about?
Yeah, we made some changes. It pretty much just went through motor, transmission, rear end, all new pieces, everything that we thought we could make better. So I'm really happy with how the car is going, and yeah, we'll see how it comes out at the end of the day.
Now, Spring Sizzler Day is always interesting for the SK Lights because of the open mod rubber and such. the last couple of years, how has the track usually acted, and how was the track last week in open practice?
Yeah, I would say usually when there's a lot of open cars, the track rubbers up a lot, and it sometimes can make it a one-groove track. So we'll have to keep our eyes out for that. I know it rained last night, so hopefully that helps. But yeah, just got to stay on top of the track today and make the right adjustments.
Have fun today.
Thank you.
That's Alex Pro looking for a good start, as he said, for 2024 in his pursuit of track title #1. It's time to go racing. It's the 52nd NAPA Spring Sizzler with Ben Dodge on the call.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, spring has finally arrived here at the half mile for the greatest race in the history of spring. We're all set and ready to do battle for this afternoon's event. Ideal weather conditions, and literally the paddock area is bulging at the seams. We witnessed yesterday the Napa Auto Parts duels. We heard the stories and the side notes. If you were watching on Flow and you're joining us here live or joining us on Flow, we are glad to have you aboard. Kyle Rickey from the Motor Racing Network will be covering the racing action from Broadcast Central, along with Dave Barabalt and John Gates. He'll be covering things on pit road. The festivities for this afternoon's event is brought to you in part by your good friends at your local Napa Auto Parts store. We remind you that we'll begin at approximately 2 o'clock with qualifying rounds for the SK Modifieds. And get ready for this. We don't have 1, we have 2, we have 3, and we have 4 qualifying events. But that's not the big story, because the SK Light Division will have equally as many qualifying rounds. Besides all of that, the stage is set. We'll tell you exactly who did what yesterday and how they're anticipating to be a part of this afternoon's festivities. Kyle, Rickey, we couldn't pick a more perfect afternoon. The fans are here in full force, and it is good to have everybody back at home base, the finest half-mile facility in the country, the Roots Family Stafford Motor Speedway. Get ready, because we're in for a barn burner of an afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Hard to believe when the pit gates opened here this morning. It was about 47 degrees, a chill in the air, and complete cloud cover. That has since moved out, and it has turned out to be one of the nicest days of the year so far, a complete opposite from what this event experienced a year ago, having to run it later in the month of May due to Mother Nature, but not the case here today. Great day of racing yesterday with the Napa Auto Parts dual qualifying events, along with our limited late models, street stocks, and late models kicking off their 2024 season. And you mentioned it, a huge car count in the pits today with 33 SK Modifieds, 40 SK Lights, and of course that full field of 33 Open Modifieds ready to go in the 52nd running of the greatest race in the history of spring.
You know, yesterday afternoon we had close to 100 cars assembled in the paddock area, and the story of yesterday afternoon's victory saw Travis Hydar to take down the victory in the street stock division. Travis Downey would finish in second. Tyler Trott was third. Ryan Waterman would round out the top 4, and finishing in the top 5 was Johnny Walker. Limited feature event, Matt Clement was the big star of the show. Adrian Paradis finished right behind him in second. Jeremy Lavoie was back in championship style to finish in the 3rd spot. Matt Winters would finish 4th, and Gary Patnode would round out the top 5. Late model feature event, Kevin Gambacorta got way out in front, the defending series champion, but it was Darrell Keene who took advantage of things to dominate the racing action. Wayne Corey Jr. would finish in second. Kevin Gambacorta, showing his championship style, would finish in third. Cliff Saunders, back in winning form. The Racing Twins would finish in 4th for Cliff, and Al Saunders to round out the top 5. Top 5 in the duels. Duel number 1, Teddy Hodgson. You saw the great interview done by Kyle Rickey just a few short moments ago. Matt Swanson, driving Gary Casella's car, would finish in second. Former champion of the Wheel and Modified Tour, John McKennedy, was third. Michael Christopher and Jimmy Page's car was fourth. And Doug Coby would round out the top 5. In the second duel, it was Ronnie Silk from green to checker. Marcello Rafano would be right on his back bumper to finish in second. Max Zackham, great strong run for the 13, would finish in the third spot. Matt Hirschman would finish in fourth, and Austin Beers, making his debut here in the 179, would round out the top 5. So, Kyle, we've seen some great races and great winners already this season, but we're in for a treat this afternoon. And we want to mention also, too, that we have some lap sponsorship openings. Just a few of them are left, and we certainly would like for you to participate. You can mention you, your family, a race team. You can wish somebody good luck, whatever the case may be. To obtain these, you go to the novelty booth, which is behind the Turn 4 grandstand on the Midway, where you see the Monday night kart program set up there as well. By making that purchase of a lap sponsorship, Kyle, there's a great bonus for all of that as well.
Yeah, and you get a signed trading card from last year's winner, Ron Silk, in a specialty case with a display holder. Plus, you get 9 other cards from last year's top 10 finishers in the NAPA Spring Sizzler. So pretty cool, and a pretty cool autograph item for the NAPA Pit Party that'll take place later this afternoon.
Absolutely.
And, of course, we just unveiled about 2 weeks ago here at the Speedway the 2024 set of trading cards featuring our weekly divisions, the top 10 in all the points from last year, some specialty cards, including a card of us, Ben. Did you ever think you'd be on a trading card?
No, no. I have a face for radio, not for anything else. Dave Barabalt has also been signing autographs in the paddock area as well. So we're in for an incredible afternoon of racing. For those of you that are here visiting us for the very first time, the Midway is literally jam-packed behind the main grandstand area with great and unique specialty items. One of our favorite stops is the girls right beneath the broadcast central. They have those delicious sausage, pepper, and onion sandwiches, chicken fingers, and a whole lot more. Head a little further down, one of our main concession booths with all your favorite racetrack food as well. And then we've got fried dough. We have ice cream in unique and special flavors and sundae. And we even got tots. That's right. Just the beginning, top of the Midway area, Sunoco Racing Fuels, New England Racing Fuels, and the Monaco Ford Tri-Track Series. Souvenir booth is located next to the popcorn and ice cream stand directly across from the Double Hook Lounge. So there's a lot in store here today, so sit back, relax, and enjoy yourself. It is our honor to be your host for this Sizzler Sunday. Kyle?
So many great stories, especially on the front row for the Spring Sizzler later this afternoon. We heard from Teddy Hodgson, a driver that grew up here at the racetrack on the mini mile here on the front stretch, where he won in first the Wild Thing kart program on Monday nights, won several times in a legend car before moving up to the SK Light Modifieds and winning a championship there before finding success in SK Modifieds, and now is the pole sitter for today's running of the Napa Spring Sizzler. And of course, last year's winner, Ron Silk, will join him on the front row. Dominated yesterday's second Napa dual qualifying race, so it'll be interesting to see if anybody can stop him over the course of 100 laps later today.
You know, Kyle, as I look down the list here of the cars that'll be starting up front in the competition, there's a couple of things that stand out. Teddy Hodgson, a graduate from the SK Lights and the SKs. Ron Silk, a graduate from the SKs. Matt Swanson, the SK Lights. Marcel Rafano, Marcello is still running in that division as well. So right there in the top 4 positions, we have some outstanding competitors that have cut their teeth here at Stafford.
And you can say that through the entire 33-car field, and we'll get into that in more detail later today. But at just a couple of minutes after 2, the first qualifying event rolls out onto the Speedway. The first SK Modified qualifying heat is on the racetrack.
It sure is. This is round number 1 of 4 qualifying rounds for the SK Modifieds. And here's Kyle Rickey with the starting lineup.
Car number 07 scheduled to start on the pole from New Britain, Connecticut, the Florida connection, Mohawk Northeast. That driver is scheduled to be Brian Narducci behind the wheel of the 07.
Car number 22 will be up next. That is the Horsepower Hill Farms machine. Ladies and gentlemen, this driver is from Berlin, Connecticut, needs no introductions. They call him Kid Rock, Keith Rocco, in the Michael O'Sullivan and Sons prepared car.
Get back to row number 2 here in just a moment. Car number 76, the Bowles Chrysler car number 76. It'll be Austin Beers behind the wheel of that car here today. Austin, of course, pulling double duty. Will run the open race later this afternoon.
And then it's the Petty Cash Motorsports, Tick Mike's car. The number 85 from Shelton, Connecticut. A driver's change, but he was quick in practice. It is Andrew Moeller.
Inside row 3, car 36 from New Milford, Connecticut. The Chris Jones Roofing sponsored car for Chris Jones.
Then we move to car number 21. You heard the story on the big screen. This is the number 21 driven by the Mad Dog Pup. That, of course, is the 21 of George Bissett Jr.
Car number 96 will go next from Canton, Connecticut. Longtime competitor here at the Speedway, the Brainerd Motorsports car for Kurt Brainerd.
One of the hometown teams is next, the Caruso Brothers Racing, number 12. From Windsor, Connecticut, Artie Crusoe.
And rounding out the 9-car field here in heat number 1, car 51 from Canterbury, Connecticut, the Dioge Millwright and Machinery car for Ethan DeRozier.
Here's some side notes for this. 8 laps will be the distance. All cars will transfer to what we call the big dance, the main event of competition. This is a special presentation of your local Napa Auto Parts dealers. Please remember, Napa Auto Care. It's all about the get up and go at your local Napa Auto Parts store.
Field on the 1 to go signal will go green next time by. Brian Narducci teaming up with Tommy Baldwin here in the 07.
We go back to the practice day, Kyle, and he was driving the car on the practice day that is located behind him in the starting lineup, a little further back, of course, the 76 machine.
Austin Beers behind the wheel today.
Yes, and this is his first time ever in an SK Modified here at Stafford, and he was really pumped up in the paddock area. Brian Narducci cut his teeth. Remember the story a few years back. He was one of the most successful open-wheel drivers of that season. Green is out. They head down to turn number 1. Trouble now. All of a sudden, it appears that the number 76 car got off to a tough start, but up front, here is Rocco, and right alongside, it is Moeller. Moeller to the inside. The point of the arrow is Brian Narducci, back off turn 4.
Andrew Moeller, another one of those new combinations for this season, driving for Petty Cash Motorsports, that number 85. Both have had success here. The 85 has gone to victory lane, as has Moeller, and they've teamed up. Will be interesting to follow them throughout the entire season. Right now running in the 2nd spot, just ahead of Keith Rocco, and just behind another new combination in Brian Narducci.
Yeah, there's no question. Narducci sets the pace, puts the car to the bottom of the racetrack, but here comes Mike Moeller, the Petty Cash Machine, JJ, the crew chief on the automobile, and here comes Keith Rocco. Rocco gives a smooch to the back bumper. They come off turn number 4, single file, top 4 cars in line, then we've got a gap, and behind them, it will be the Austin Beers Machine, car 76, back up front. Here comes, making some small change, Kyle. It was Moeller. He took a dip to the inside.
Stepped out of line, but couldn't make a move. Peaked to the bottom, off of turn 2 and up the back straightaway. Remains in the 2nd spot, halfway home. 4 down, 4 to go here in this opening qualifying event. It is Narducci at the point. Moeller again will try it again in 3. Bottom shot doesn't stick, with Rocco looking on in 3rd.
Remember, Rocco had patented that move to get down into turn number 3. Meanwhile, here comes Moeller. Looks to the bottom, can't do it this time. Off the turn, Narducci got his foot right to the bottom of the sheet metal. Here comes Moeller. Won't happen there.
Top 3 cars beginning to break away just a bit from George Bissett Jr. in that 4th spot in car number 21. Bissett, though, closing in a bit to make it a 4-way bid for the race lead. Under 2 laps to go. It'll be the white flag this time for Brian Narducci.
Well, all that's been happening up front. It is another good battle further back in the field. We've got a bid for side-by-side racing. It is the 51 machine of Ethan DeRozier. White flag is out. Final circuit down the back straightaway. If anything's going to happen, watch Rocco. setting up Moeller for the move in turn 3. It won't work. Off turn 4, back to the stripe they come.
Checkered flag is out. Car number 7 for Brian Arducci will pick up the race win over Andrew Moeller, Keith Rocco, and George Bissett Jr. rounding out the front 4.
And finishing in the 5th spot, Ethan DeRocher. A late event bid, Austin Beers in 6th, Chris Jones for 7th, Kurt Brainerd for 8th, and Artie Caruso to round out the top 9. Second qualifying round, we'll see car number 88 starting at the point. That's the Wheelers Auto Service Center machine. John and Mania Rafano own the automobile for Marcelo Rafano. He'll start at the point.
Our outside of the front row, car number 33 from Wolcott, Connecticut, the Jervis Brothers roofing car for Michael Jarvis Jr.
New England Turf, Eastport Feeds, P.T. Watts brings us the number 82. From Wolcott, Connecticut, the talented and versatile Michael Christopher Jr.
Last year's championship runner-up will start from 4th, car number 11 from Farmington, Connecticut, the Hummel Brothers Hot Dogs car for Corey DiMatteo.
3 rows back on the inside, car number 5, the RJ's Plumbing and Heating car. Feature event winner 1 year ago from Millville, Mass., R.J. Marcotte.
This next driver just looking for some good luck here in 2024 after a tough season a year ago. Car number 7 from Brantford, Connecticut, the Mr. Reuter Plumbing car for John Pulio.
And starting in the final row, driving car number 81, defending champion, 6-time champion in his own right, the Cookers Construction, number 81 from Somers, Connecticut, Todd Owen.
8th starter, car number 62 from Southbridge, Massachusetts, the Mitsubishi Electric Heating and Cooling car for Cody Rose.
Remember, these are 8-lap qualifying rounds. Qualifying, we will take all of these cars. Of course, the further forward they finish, the better they will start in the preferred handicap on the starter stand. Looking the field over. Field crosses over. Marcelo Rafano, as Kyle pointed out earlier, a lot of these drivers doing double duty today. Marcelo is one of those. Michael Christopher, same can be said. Todd Owen. Let's see what's going to happen. Lights are off on the safety vehicle provided by Wheelan Engineering. First name in light, sirens, and safety services used throughout the world.
Todd Owen, car number 81, starting final car in that inside row, a 3-time and defending champion here at the racetrack. All those championships coming in the last 3 years. Longtime competitor here at the Speedway. Starting in the 7th spot as we go under the green flag with Marcello Rafano showing the way to turn 1.
Bottom of the racetrack. Marcello right there, a little tap to the bumper. Michael Christopher's looking racy with that black number 82 car. Deep down in turn number 3. Off the turn, will Marcelo Rafano or Michael Jervis have the advantage? Almost 3 wide, they dive to turn 1.
Julio out of shape toward the back of the pack, kept the car off the outside wall, but it was close, and he will drop to the 8th position. At the front of the field, it is Rafano looking to get away at the point. Here comes Michael Christopher Jr. to the inside to take the 2nd spot away from the 33 of Jarvis.
Meanwhile, Marcotte tries to put the 5 car. That's the car running in position number 5 as we speak. Down the back straightaway, out in front. Marcello Rafano setting a blistering pace at the front of the field. Michael Christopher reeling him in. Little cat and mouse action. Look a little further back. Todd Owen is trying to get around the RJ Marcotte number 5.
Marcotte, a one-time winner. That first win came a year ago in his first full season here at the racetrack, running 5th right now. Here's Owen looking to his inside for that spot off of turn number 4, but can't make the move as we are halfway through this qualifying event. 4 laps to run, and no change at the point. It is Marcello Rafano holding off the 82 of Mike Christopher Jr.
As impressive as the battle is for 1 and 2, look back to the 3rd and 4th spot. Corey DiMatteo reeling in on Michael Jervis. They run nose to tail. Then we've got a big gap, and we go back to RJ Marcotte and Todd Owen. Packs of 2 as they head down the back straightaway. Up front, here comes Michael Christopher, showing he can run on rails to the inside. Marcello Rafano left the door open. and Michael Christopher was almost there.
He's there now in turn one, racing for the lead, coming to the white flag this time by new leader. Mike Christopher Jr. goes to the point. Rafrano kicked back to second as they continue to race in pairs among the top 6.
Off the turn, Michael Christopher leads the important final circuit. He heads now to the bottom of turn number 1. No question, he is the guy to beat at the front of this field. Last circuit by 18.918 off turn number 4. Here they come. This is the one that counts the most. Checkered flag is out. Michael Christopher will take down the win. Marcello Rafano will finish in second. Michael Jervis will finish in third, and rounding out the top 4 will be Corey DiMatteo.
RJ Marcotte will finish in the 5th spot, Todd Owen in 6th, Jonathan Pulio in 7th, and Cody Rose rounding out the 8-car field.
So up next is our third of 4 qualifying events that'll be coming onto the racetrack. And the starting lineup for this one will see car number 24 starting at the point. The Belhegi Farms machine. Neil Flynn owns the car from Hamden, Massachusetts. It is Mikey Flynn.
Car number 16 next in line goes to the outside of row number 1. Heard from him in the pre-race show a little bit ago. Had to put that car back together after some pretty hard contact in the practice session last Saturday. The 16 is Dylan Kopeck.
Then we go to the inside, row number 2, starting position number 3. Chapman Apartment Homes, My Three Sons Racing. Number 14 from Ellington, Connecticut, Stephen Chapman.
Car number 99 goes to the outside of row number 2 from North Haven, Connecticut. The JG Pooling Racing entry for Tyler Hines.
Next we go to the number 10 machine, part of the Dan Avery stables, the Horsepower Hill Farms number 10, driven by Glenn Reen.
6 starter car 27 from South Windsor, Connecticut, CNC Roofing to bring us John Sandberg.
Moving now to the final row, starting position number 7, Monaco Ford, listed among the sponsors of the DP Motorsports car from Stafford Springs, Connecticut, David Arute.
Car number 63 will round out the field, the 63 driven by David Flemia Jr.
So this is our third of 4 qualifying events. If you've just joined us, welcome to the show. This is a presentation of your local NAPA Auto Parts stores. Look for the blue and gold wherever you go. And of course, welcome to the show. 2x2 and side by side. Watch for the pace car to dive to the bottom of turn number 3. Mikey Flynn had some great runs in the closing events of last year. Dylan Kopeck in the practice day, that car got severely damaged. His dad and everybody from the Palmer-Munson area contributed to help get it back together with that young driver. Here's Carl Rickey with the call.
Here they come off of turn 4. Heat race number 3 goes under the green flag, and it is Mikey Flynn to lead the field into turn number 1 with Kopeck to the outside of the front row. The inside will advance. Flynn by a car length up the backstretch for the first time with Stephen Chapman in tow.
Well, Stephen Chapman setting in that second spot. Here comes Glenn Reen, black number 13, to the inside lane. Kopeck slips up the racetrack just a bit. Works to the advantage. Back up front, we've got a bid. Mikey Flynn. All of a sudden, he is forced to give Chapman the inside lane, and here comes Glenn Reen. Remember, years back, Kyle, they called it Green Acres, when he would dip down onto the grass.
Right now, may need the grass to move around the green machine of Flynn for that second spot. Here comes David Arute moving into the front half of the field in car number 75. He is up to 4th. And they're side by side just behind them for 5th. Kopeck still stuck in that outside lane in car number 16. Has company on the bottom in the form of Tyler Hines in the 99.
Tyler Hines in a tribute car to Jean-Guy Poulin, setting back in that 5th position, that white number 99 car. They come off turn number 4. Back to the stripe they come. It is a good battle for second now as Mikey Flynn tries to get back around the Horsepower Hill Farms machine of Glenn Reen. Reen shuts the door. Here comes Mikey Flynn. Sees the opening on the bottom. Can't do it as Glenn Reen sinks it in deep. Here comes David Arute. Right there with him is Tyler Hines, car number 99.
Four-way battle from second on back, led by Glenn Reen. It's about 3 car lengths behind Stephen Chapman, the race leader. He's been able to break away from Reen, Flynn, Arute, and Hines. Dylan Kopech, who started up toward the front of the field, has dropped in the line just outside of the top 5 and 6.
Yeah, they come back off the turn, still single file formation. 2 circuits remaining in this one. Second on back as Stephen Chapman is gone like a rabbit being chased by the dogs. Off turn number 4, white flag is out, still not done yet. 5, make it 6 cars, nose to tail as they come back to the line.
Good battle from second on back, well behind Stephen Chapman. You're watching that battle work through turn 2 for the final time, led by the 10 of Glenn Reen. Hines trying to step out of line on a route for position number 4. Checkered flag is up. It's going to be car number 14. Stephen Chapman picking up the heat race win over Glenn Reen in second, Mikey Flynn in third, and David Arute in fourth.
Rounding out the remainder of the field, Tyler Hines in the John G. Poulin tribute car will finish in the 5th spot. Dylan Kopech up to 6th, John Sandberg to finish in 7th, and David Flamia will finish in the 8th position. Qualifying is now history for the SK Modifieds, but we've got one more
heat
shot at it, and of course, that will be our 4th qualifying round.
Another 8 cars lined up and ready to go. Big field of SKs. Our premier division each and every Friday night throughout the summer months. Of course, our opening Friday night program coming up on May 10th. So mark that on your calendar. It's when the SK Modifieds will be back in action along with all 5 of our weekly divisions.
Well, starting at the point will be car number 23 out of Stafford Springs, Connecticut. That's the Preschool of Arts car, driven by Wesley Prucker.
Car number 3 goes to the outside of the front row from Oxford, Massachusetts. Casella Waste Systems providing the sponsorship on the number 3 car for Troy Tallman.
Row number 2 to the inside, the GAF roofing machine from Riverhead, New York. This car was very quick in practice. It is Eric Goodale, car 58.
4th starter, car number 31 from Canton, Connecticut, the Mid-State Site Development Wheel and Engineering car for Noah Corner.
Lou Delicio's Auto Body brings us car number 28. This young driver won yesterday in the duels. He's behind the wheel of his SK Modified from Danbury, Connecticut, Teddy Hodgson.
Car number 25 goes alongside the Fowler's Auto Wrecking car from East Hampton, Connecticut, Anthony Flannery.
Pro Systems Irrigation brings us car number 18. From Griswold, Connecticut, his dad, Kenny Berry, owns it. It is Tyler Berry behind the wheel.
And the 03 will round out the field. Brand new competitor to the Speedway here this season for Jaden Brown. Will start from 8th.
Here we go. Backstage, SK Lights preparing for their 4 qualifying rounds.
Troy Tallman also welcoming new sponsor Northeast Race Cars to his number 3 car for this season. Troy, of course, starting on the outside of the front row for this qualifying event.
He was very racy in practice yesterday. Looking good today as he sets the pace. Blisters his way in the upper lane down into the bottom of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, it is Troy Tallman. But right behind him, it is Noah Corner. Corner tries to make the move. Prucker guards the lane as they come off turn 4.
And it's Tallman out front and driving away from Wesley Prucker in the 2nd spot. Noah Corner still trying to take 3rd away, nearly 3 wide for the runner-up position up the back straightaway. They'll get it sorted out by the time they get to 3 with the inside lane advancing.
It is Goodale who moves in, takes over 2nd. Short-lived. Here comes Teddy Hodgson. Hodgson, blue car to the inside. 28 contending with car 58. One of the contenders of the Wheel and Modified Tour and an up-and-coming contender. And all of a sudden, here comes Tyler Berry, car number 18. Berry settles back into the 4th spot, side-by-side bid for position number 5.
Berry, a former SK Light Modified champion, moving up into the SK Modifieds this season, running in 4th. Noah Corner in a good battle for the 5th position now, deeper in the pack. Here's Hodgson, the pole sitter later today for the Napa Spring Sizzler, challenging Goodale for 2nd.
There's no question about it. Hodgson is pumped up after a victory yesterday. He'll go around Goodale. Here comes Goodale. Dogfight battle for the 2nd spot. Goodale taps the back bumper directly behind them. Another heated battle, and it is the number 25 machine for Anthony Flannery. Flannery trying to shake off the Noah corner machine. They are evenly matched as they head to turn 3.
Back to the corner, and it's going to be cornered, getting the spot, and gets nudged up the racetrack by Flannery, and they're side by side again. Call it a crossover move with a bit of contact for Flannery. That is the battle for the 5th position coming to the white flag. That battle is about a full straightaway behind race leader Troy Tallman.
There's no question about it. Noah Corner tries to do the crossover on Anthony Flannery. He does. He takes back the spot. 1 lap to go. Out in a zone of his own. Troy Tallman has led every circuit in this qualifying run. The story is not the same in the battle for second, because that could change in less than a turn. Here comes Goodale, Troy Tallman to take down the win. Teddy Hodgson to finish in second. Eric Goodale is third. Tyler Berry, great run to finish in 4.
Rounding out the top 5 will be Noah Corner, Anthony Flannery, Wesley Prucker, and Jaden Brown getting his first competitive laps in from Cuckletown, Pennsylvania. The 16-year-old Bruce George paving and excavating car will round out the top 8 starters here.
Well, coming up next on the racetrack will be our SK Light division. And of course, we are proud to have them as part of the festivities. Their contingency partners this season will include Mayberry Material Handling, AZ Roofing, McKinney Construction, GRE6.com, LaPlante Racing Products, Olson Apartments, The Roofers, and New England Racing Fuels Sunoco. Here's our starting lineup. Starting at the point will be car number 7 from Salem, Connecticut, driving the Darling Auto Parts machine. Jeff Pearl, his dad, owns the automobile. It is Alexander Pearl.
Outside of the front row, car number 46, former champion in this division from Tolland, Connecticut, Monaco Ford, providing the sponsorship for Brian Sullivan.
Row number 2 to the inside, the SAB Tree Experts machine. The M51 Racing, number 51 from Norwich, Connecticut, Matt Brewer.
4th starter, car number 50 from Windsor, Connecticut, the Bennett Racing sponsored entry for Peter Bennett.
Car number 35 is up next. That's the Tolland County Foundation Replacements car. Keep Digging Motorsports from Ashford, Connecticut. Car 35 for Josh Morrison.
To his outside, starting in 6, car number 44 from Ellington, Connecticut, the Chapman Apartment Home sponsored car out of the My Three Sons Racing Stable for Jason Chapman.
4 rows back to the inside, car number 88, the GRP Services car. Gil Grismali and Debbie LaFleur own the car from Weathersfield, Connecticut. It is Frank Latois Jr.
8th starter, car number 48 from West Springfield, Massachusetts, the Mayberry Material Handling entry for Alina Bryden.
9th starting spot, it's a multi-mode logistics car. Car number 72 for Brady Porello out of West Springfield, Mass.
And rounding out the 10-car field, car 77 from Norfolk, Connecticut, the Advanced Auto Repair entry for Chris Bagnell.
So here we have it, SK Light qualifying number 1 of 4. Ready to do battle. Again, car number 7 on the inside of the front row. Very familiar front runner in this division, Alexander Pearl and Brian Sullivan. Sullivan driving the Vassar car, completely redone, sponsored by Monaco Ford. And these 2 cars were among the quickest cars in practice in this division in round number 2.
Top 3 cars break away here on lap number 1. Alex Pearl, car number 7, out front. Here comes Peter Bennett to the inside to challenge for second on Sullivan. Then it's going to be Jason Chapman in the 4th spot, that red number 44, and then a pair of red cars behind him between Matt Brewer and Josh Morrison, a couple of the Wild Thing Kart graduates. Some of the recent graduates moving up into the SK Lights within the last 2 seasons, running for 5th.
Meanwhile, great battle shaping up. Brian Sullivan puts the Monaco Ford number 46 rather, into second behind the 7, and right behind them is Peter Bennett. Bennett came into his own in 2023, and it was Jason Chapman right there looking to reel both of those competitors in. Now, Josh Morrison has moved into the top 5. Battle for second, Kyle, down in turn 3.
Bennett looking back to the inside on Sullivan for that spot. Can't make it work to the inside and gets in the line just in front of Jason Chapman. Second, third, and fourth, about 0.8 of a second behind Alexander Pearl, the race leader in the number 7 car.
Bennett refuses to give up, and all of a sudden, Jason Chapman is moved in, making it a 3-car bid for that number 2 position. Sullivan, one of the smoothest guys in the class, front runner in the championship quest, and look at Bennett, literally bump drafting him all the way down the front straightaway. Chapman is there, he'll take a peek to the inside.
A lot of contact, but everybody's okay, and here comes Bennett again, back to the inside in turn number 3 on Sullivan for second. Sullivan will drift up the racetrack, build that momentum, keep his speed up for the front straightaway, and keep the second spot. Here's now Chapman to the inside of Bennett for third.
Well, Chapman has seen what Bennett was attempting to do. He doesn't want to make the same type of a move. White flag is out. Alexander Pearl is gone at the front of this field. Meanwhile, Chapman all over the back bumper of the Bennett machine. Now Chapman's car loosens up as he tries to make the move.
Side by side up the backstretch for third, but it is Alex Pearl that comes off of turn number 4 as the race leader. And as the opening heat race winner here for the SK Light Modifieds over Brian Sullivan in second. Peter Bennett will get that third spot. Jason Chapman will finish in 4th, and Josh Morrison will complete the top 5.
6th through 10th will be Matt Brewer to finish in the 6th spot. Frank Latour will finish in the 7th position. Alina Bryden will finish in 8th. Chris Bagnell will be 9th, and Michael Perello will round out the top 10. That's round number 1 for the SK Lights. Second qualifier is next, and here's Kyle Rickey.
10 more cars, 40 on tap here, 36 scheduled to start in the feature event later this afternoon. An incredible field of SK Light Modifieds to lead the field to green here in heat number 2. Car number 55 from Somers, Connecticut, the Akari Motor Sales sponsored car for Paul Akari.
Chapman Apartment Homes brings us the My Three Sons number 41, this time from Ellington, Connecticut, for Tyler Chapman.
Third starter, car number 98 from Coventry, Connecticut, the Sears & Son landscaping car for Norm Sears.
Then it's the Supreme Industries DP Motorsports number 82 from Tallinn, Connecticut. Would you welcome Paula Roots?
Car number 75 goes to the inside of row number 3 from Windsor Locks, Connecticut, the Jim Ciappone sponsored car for Casey Vogt.
Outside row number 3, starting position number 6. The AZ Roofing Company number 21 from Walcott, Connecticut, Sammy Anderson.
7th starter, car number 2 from Auburn, Massachusetts, Propane Plus and PT Watts to bring us Megan Fuller.
In the 8th starting spot, it's Dean Lampros driving the Metro Garage Doors machine. He'll start 8th on the grid.
9th starter to the inside of that 5th row, car number 31 making his 2nd start here at the Speedway from Westbrook, Connecticut, the Wheelan Engineering sponsored car for Karsten Cole.
Starting scratch in the event, the Rubos Auto Center car. Fran Farino and Michael Jervis Jr. own the car from Waterbury, Connecticut. It is Anthony Farino, car 52.
Field will get the 1 to go signal this time by heat race number 2. And a lot of people pinning the 41 car as one of the championship favorites here this season. Tyler Chapman, so strong most of the year last year. Fell just short of the title to George Bissett Jr., who has moved on to run in SK Modifieds and Open Modifieds this season. Megan Fuller got her first win in August of last year.
Yes, she did.
One of the most popular drivers in this division. Sammy Anderson, also in this heat race, car number 21, has come close to getting her first win, was on the podium late last year to wrap up 2023. Here they come off of turn 4, looking for the green.
With the snap of a wrist, the green is out. One car develops a stutter step, and that is, of course, the 98 of Norm Sears, trying to get that car in gear. While that's been happening, Tyler Chapman runs away and hides down the backstretch. Meanwhile, Paul Akari setting in second, trying to hold on there impressively, 3 wide for the 4th position.
Sammy Anderson right in the middle of that battle as they go back to turn number 1. Megan Fuller also goes to the outside of the next row as they are really stacked up. Dean Lambros, Casey Vogt, all in that pack of traffic behind the 55 of Paul Akari. From second on back, Stephen Chapman, no surprise, that 41 beginning to tiptoe away at the front.
As that car is tiptoeing away at the front, Paul Aroot is starting to reel in on the back bumper of Paul Akari. Aroot setting in that third position. Behind him, Dean Lampros driving one of the Joey Farina race cars and looking pretty racy with that car as well. Car 21 still there. Sammy Anderson, but a side-by-side battle between Megan Fuller and Casey Vogt is directly behind them.
Casey Vogt hangs on to that spot for now, just in front of Megan Fuller. Lambros goes to the inside for position number 3, and Akari, who backslides to 4th. As Paul Aroot continues to lead that
trouble
race.
now. We've got two cars coming together at a ton. Right in.
Now Sammy Anderson being one of them in the 21. And
second car looks like it is
the 55 of Akari.
Yep, and those two cars came together. Akari apparently is able or attempting to pull away. Sammy Anderson with that number 21. Tough break for her. She was running very strong. As the safety services crew goes to assist. Akari Motor Sales, number 55. Jimmy Fuller has been working with this team impressively to try to get him dialed in. Jimmy, of course, part of the Racing Fuller family and has been the crew chief on a lot of successful drivers over the years here at Stafford, including Woody Pitcat, Kerry Malone in the old days of SK Modified Racing. Just to name a few, he was involved with Bob Charland. Let's take a look at the replay, Kyle, and see if we can see exactly what happened. Going into turn number 1, and it appears...
Well, Akari got loose.
Yes, and as he did, Sammy tried to avoid the situation. I hope we get another shot of this. There's the car coming down into turn number 1. Akari gets crossed up. Sammy tries to go by, but the 55 was already loose and coming up the racetrack, and the end result is they come together. Here's another look at it. There's Akari getting loose. He tries to correct. Sammy is there. She makes contact, and two cars have become severely damaged in this one. Another different perspective of it, those of you watching on Flow. And there you have it. Heartbreaker for two competitors who were running very strong. And there is a look at Sammy Anderson's car. Right front wheel peeled back, Kyle, and you can see also the rub rail on the right side of the car. Heartbreaker for her. And here is the Akari number 55. That car might have had a tire going down on the left rear because we can see it on the hook and it has a flat left rear. We're not sure what came first, the chicken or the egg in that situation.
I'm not sure if there was that tire went down beforehand or after he got loose and made contact with Sammy, who had nowhere to go, trying to avoid that situation as the remainder of the field is already doubled up into their rows of 2. Will go green. Still with 4 laps to go in this heat race. Tyler Chapman and Paul Aroot to make up the front row. Dean Lambros will go to the inside of row number 2.
Let's see what's going to happen here. Tyler Chapman, Paul Aroot in the front row. Here they come. Green flag is out. Tyler Chapman looking racy, but Dean Lambros tries to make a bold move underneath Paul Aroot, and it pays off.
Here comes Meg Fuller, car number 2 now to the inside of Aroot for 3rd, just in front of Casey Vogt.
She's got a car that's running on rails to the inside, that Propane Plus machine. Now into 3rd. Paul Aroot takes him a lap or so to get her back up to speed, but once she is at speed, watch out. Car 82 is coming back to life.
A couple laps to go, 2 to go, this time by, in fact, for Tyler Chapman in car number 41. Lambros in 2nd, Fuller in 3rd.
Fuller is trying to make a patented move. She's got a car that works on the bottom. And Lambros running dead center where he needs to run in the racetrack. 1 lap to go.
Battle is best for second between Lambros, Fuller, and Arute. And Arute losing a bit of ground here on this final circuit. In fact, they're all strung out among the top 5, well behind Tyler Chapman, who comes off of turn number 4 and takes the checkered flag here in this second SK Light qualifying event. Over Dean Lambros in second, Megan Fuller in third, Paula Root in fourth, and Casey Vogt in fifth.
In the 6th spot is Norm Sears, car number 98. Karsten Cole will finish in 7th. Anthony Farino will finish in the 8th spot. Paula Corey 9th, and rounding out the 10-car field is Sammy Anderson with car number 21.
So 2 heats down, 2 to go. The third will roll out onto the racetrack here in just a moment, and one of the winningest, in fact, the winningest driver in the division will lead the field to the green flag. Longtime competitor here in the SK Lights, car number 29 from right here in Stafford Springs. Vernon Chevrolet providing the sponsorship for Chris Matthews.
Outside of that front row will be the Norse Incorporated Wheelan Engineering car. Car number 09. Kenny Berry owns the car from Westbrook, Connecticut. Cassandra Cole.
Car number 76 will go to the inside of row number 2 from Ellington, Connecticut. The Constantine Paving and Sealing entry for Ron Midford Jr.
Roberts Painting brings us car number 32 out of Milford, Connecticut for Robert Bloxam III.
Fifth starter, car number 70 from East Longmeadow, Massachusetts. Mayberry Material Handling to bring us Wade Gagner.
Driving a Keith Rocco rental race car, the Wicked Power Sports number 1 from Stafford Springs, Connecticut. Bob Charland.
7th starter, car number 15 from Colchester, Connecticut. McKinney Construction providing the sponsorship for Amanda West.
And then we go to car number 3, the Midford Racing Company car from Ellington, Connecticut for Steve Midford.
Inside of the final row, car number 99 from Berlin, Connecticut. The Connecticut Collision Center entry for Mark Mysterio.
A+ Fire Protection brings us car number 07. Jay Goff, who's a former competitor, owns the car, and Austin Goff sets behind the wheel from Stafford Springs.
Another one of those drivers moving up from the Wild Thing kart program here on Monday nights. Also can be seen live on FloRacing. Or if a lot of great nights weather-wise, come on out and watch the future of the Friday night race program. A lot of, in fact, I feel like most of our Friday night drivers have come through the Monday night karts.
Wade Gagner put together a beautiful tribute car to Bob Polverari. It's located at the entrance where you purchase your tickets into the grandstand area. That 711 car was built by Wade Gagner as a retro car, and of course the good folks from Mayberry. And that car was driven by Bob Polverari at Riverside, and it was owned by my father during that one season.
Green is up. We are underway. Matthews and Cole to lead the field into turn number 1, and it'll be Chris Matthews getting the jump and getting the lead by the time they hit the back straightaway. Matthews, a 20-time winner here in the SK Lights, most of all time, looking to lead lap number 1 here in this qualifying heat race.
Third is the hot spot in this one, and right there the challenge is the number 76 of Ron Midford. Midford can't muscle up enough. Robert Bloxam setting there in the 3rd spot. Midford took a peek to the inside, carrying the traditional Bowles colors. And here comes Bob Charland, Wicked Power Sports number 1 car, trying to thread the needle and get to the front.
Singled out toward the front of the field, racing from 6th on back, getting tight. And that's where we find Steve Mitford and Wade Gagner, Amanda West. Also Mark Mysterio, part of that battle for position. The back door is open, and one car gets shuffled away up the track. That's Midford in car number 3. Will lose 3 positions as Gagner, West, and Mysterio all go by to the inside.
Down the back straightaway, leader of the pack, Chris Matthews. No surprises there. Halfway down and halfway to go. Already 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th are closing up the gap. Midford's tried just about everything to get around Robert Bloxam. Bloxam tries to shake him off. Deep into turn 3. Solid shot to the back bumper. Here comes Charland. Charland looks to go to the outside. can't do it. He slips up the racetrack.
Charlene, longtime competitor here at the racetrack as well. Car number 1 running in 5th. Wade Gagner hanging on to 6th. Amanda West looking inside and out to try to take that spot away in car number 15. The best race on the speedway right now. Halfway home in this qualifying. Make that 2 to go. This time by, shown from the starter stand with Matthews out front.
Bloxham continued to try to make his presence known with Cassandra Cole. Cassandra well aware of the fact that he is in striking distance. White flag is out. Final circuit. Any bold moves in this one, or will they settle in? Top 5 have pulled away. Midford trying to put some pressure on Bloxham. Deep into turn number 3. Bloxham still guards the spot. Here comes Charlene. Off the turn, down to the stripe. Chris Matthews will take down the win. Cassandra Cole to finish in 2nd. Robert Bloxham to finish in 3rd. Ron Midford to round out the top 4, and Bob Charlene with a late event charge will finish in 5th.
Wade Gagner will cross the line in 6th, just holding off Amanda West in 7th, Mark Maserio in 8th, Steve Mitford in 9th, and Austin Goff to round out our 10-car field.
Well, next it looks like we're moving on to our 4th qualifying event again, and this will be our 4th SK Light qualifier this afternoon. Good racing through all of the divisions so far, but we have a lot in store. The Napa Pit Party will be coming up following the conclusions of our qualifying. If there is consolation events, we'll be receiving that information and pass it along to you as well.
I think it sounds like everybody's going to start, so there will be no consolation events. All the SK Modifieds will start their feature, and all the SK Lights that are able to start will start their 20-lap main event here coming up in a bit as heat race number 3 rolls out onto the racetrack. Car number 14 scheduled to start, make this heat race number 4 on the racetrack. The 14 will be David Webb. That'll be the scheduled pole sitter here in this qualifying event.
Outside of that row, driving car number 42, it will be the Kalajanis Motorsports machine from New Hartford, Connecticut, Stephen Kalajanis, car 42.
Third starter, car number 12 to the inside of that second row from Putnam, Connecticut, the Wind Waste Innovations entry for Chris Vians.
Chikoski Racing brings us car number 45 from New Hartford, Connecticut, Ed Chikoski.
Car number 87 to the inside of the next row from East Hartford, Connecticut, Metro Garage Door to bring us Joey Farino.
Alkis Motorsports brings us car number 89 from Berlin, Connecticut. It is Tyler Alkis.
7 starter, car number 16 from Chaplin, Connecticut, the Busy Bee Learning Center car for Nicholas Hovey.
Car number 8 starts next, the Degatti Trucking Company machine from Wellington, Connecticut. It is Aiden Degatti.
Car number 71 to the inside of row number 5 from Reading, Connecticut, the LaPooch Racing entry for Pete LaPooch.
And keep your eyes on this scratch starter, the Anglace Racing Enterprises. Number 10. His dad, Vinny, owns the car from Seymour, Connecticut, Nick Anglace. That is your starting lineup. Another 10, making it 40 cars. That is on the racetrack as we head back off turn number 4. And quickly to the outside, but I don't think it was good.
It was not. Caution back out. Vians too big of a jump in that outside lane in car number 12. They'll re-rack him and try it again.
Vians builds his own cars, a fabricator by trade and considered very good at what he does, by the way. Kalajianis in there on with that 42 on the inside. Here they come. Outside lane. Motors on down into turn number 1. And guess what? Car number 12 is going to get his wrist slap, and he is going to have to go to the rear of the field. Now, they are warned by the racing directors and the director of competition, Tommy Fox, along with Chris Cambato, and they are given a warning. He received that warning, and then he made the mistake of being a little bit too rambunctious in the second attempt. And Mike points the flag and sends him to the rear of the field. Not a very good way to start. Kyle, but we'll see what's going to happen here. He can easily work his magic and come back to the front of the field.
Mike Hellberg and Craig Merriman on the starter stand. Mike giving that signal a moment ago for the 12 of Chris Vians to drop to the rear. And that will happen now on the backstretch.
And he does. So that's going to move things up. And even though we have no laps in the record books, the penalty was called.
Napa Pit Party coming up. Get those autograph items ready. I saw a lot of the teams in the pit area with all of their candy. And I know Nicholas Hovey, who's on the racetrack now, has chocolate bars.
Oh, yes, and they've got hats in some cases.
T-shirts available,
yes,
and
all types of items.
All sorts of fun things. Get those trading card signs for those that have been collecting the 2024 Stafford Motor Speedway trading cards. And if you haven't started your collection yet, now's a good time. They're available at the novelty booth.
Still not too late for you to head on down there and get those cards and get them signed by the celebrities, the drivers themselves. And let's see, it looks like pace car pulls off. Here they come off turn number 4. And much better that time.
Giannis will lead the field to turn number 1 in car number 42.
Ed Chikoski on the outside, Kyle.
Tightly bunched into 3. Chikoski topside, Giannis to the bottom. Farina right there in 3rd, car number 87, getting a big shove from Nicholas Hovey up the front straightaway in car number 16.
Nicholas Hovey is a guy to keep your eyes on. Car number 16 settles into the 4th spot, reels in on the back bumper of Joey Farino. Farino's got a car that works in the bottom, but Hovey keeps the momentum going to his advantage. Now does the crossover, and now, just as we called it, Nicholas Hovey has moved into 2nd, and look who's coming into 3rd.
That is Joey Farino in car number 87. Chikoski in car number 45 back to 4th, just in front of Tyler Alkis, who looks to his inside for that position, off of turn number 2. Nicholas Hovey, though, knifing his way through the field from the 7th starting spot, has made his way up to 2nd. Chikoski falling off the pace, a little bobble in turn number 3. Will lose a couple of more spots, including to the number 10 of Nick Anglace, who goes to the inside, along with Chris Vians in the 12th.
Chris Vians has moved back from a scratch position to work his way into the top 5. Now, diving low to the inside of Farino, forces him up the track. And all of a sudden, Tyler Alkis moves in, takes over the 3rd spot. Vians follows him through, and here comes Nick Anglace with the number 10 car.
Here comes Nicholas Hovey on Giannis for the lead. 2 laps to go, 0.4 of a second last time by. Cuts that in half, now 0.2 between the top 2. Within striking distance is Nicholas Hovey from the back to the front in car 16, closing in on Stephen Giannis in the 42.
Here they come, white flag is out. He has less than a half a mile to pull off what might, whoa! He literally gets the nose underneath, and Nicholas Hovey pulls off an amazing move to the bottom of turn number 1, back to turn 3, and Nicholas Hovey has showed his talent to take down the win. Stephen Kalajanis will finish in 2nd. Tyler Alkis, great run for 3rd. Good comeback for Christopher Vians. And Nick Anglace to round out the top 5.
Joey Farino will finish in 6th, Ed Chikoski in 7th, Pete LaPooch 8th, and Aiden DeGata rounding out the 9 cars that were on the racetrack at the start of that qualifying event. Did not see the scheduled pole sitter of David Webb out on the racetrack, so he'll be a scratch, and if he can get it ready before the feature event, start at the back of the field. 40 SK Light Strong here, part of a great opening day of their 2024 season, day number 2 for the Napa Spring Sizzler weekend.
No question. We want to remind everybody that weekly racing begins here on Friday night, May 10th. That's right. The first Friday night program of the 2024 season is just around the corner. And racing action continues each and every Friday night. That's right, May 17th, May 24th, and May 31st. May 10th and May 17th will be regular Friday night programs with all 5 weekly divisions. May 24th will be the SK Light Double Down, the first of 2 40-lap feature events for the SK Light division. And on the 31st, AZ Roofing Kids Night will be part of the program as the kids will be center stage for the kids' big wheel race. For more information, you can check on this on the web.
And don't forget, later this summer, Cletus McFarland comes to the Northeast for the first time here at the Stafford Motor Speedway for a special 2-day event, July 19th and 20th, the New England 900. We have no idea what to expect, but it's going to be a great 2 days. There's a new burnout pad in the infield. Hard to see right now, but they're going to be using that. We'll be doing burnouts. I think we got Crown Vic Racing, all sorts of fun things, specialty vehicles. We have seen his show at other racetracks across the country, like Indianapolis Raceway Park and down in Florida.
And amazing, and it's a one-of-a-kind show that you don't want to miss. You can bring the family, bring everyone to come and see this because it is going to be something exceptionally special.
Tickets are on sale, by the way, and they are going quick. So July 19th and 20th, Cletus comes to Stafford for the first time.
Sure does. And don't forget also, if you're a big fan of open modifieds, like the modifieds that are running in the greatest race in the history of spring, June 7th, the Casella Waste Open 80 will be on tap. This annual event is a big draw, and the Open Modifieds cars will feature your top and favorite drivers, whether they're weekly drivers here at Stafford who'll be doing double dipping, or drivers from the Wheel and Modified Tour, the ROC circuit in some cases, or the Monaco Ford Tri-Track Series. We also want to remind you that Monaco Ford provides us with the safety vehicles used here by our safety crew. They have 2 convenience stores to serve you better: Glastonbury, Connecticut, and Niantic, Connecticut. Mike, his sister, and Dave would love to have you stop by for special deals on new or used vehicles. Remember, the Monaco family is a racing family.
So a big thanks to all those that have watched our YouTube and Facebook live streams and all the heat race action that just took place over the course of the last hour or so. The rest of the program will be on FloRacing, as will all of our events here in 2024. The NAPA Pit Party is coming up in just a few moments, as soon as all the race cars that just came off the racetrack are back safely in their pit stalls and everything is secure. Teams are ready to go. We'll open things up for you, the race fans, to head on down and meet your favorite drivers. A lot of the drivers that competed here yesterday in the late models, street stocks, and limited late models have also stuck around and are willing to meet the race fans. A lot of candy, almost like Halloween down there. When I was down there earlier, a lot of great snacks for the kids.
That's right. And of course, those souvenir T-shirts and hats and a whole lot of other great things. We also want to address and invite you to watch the 1984 running of the greatest race in the history of spring, center stage here at Stafford, as we live and relive that day.